Hi folks, welcome to a new week of Coffee and Colossians on this absolutely gorgeous day. A couple of things to note. First of all, we've just had a lovely time with a Free Church minister from Scotland who's been here with us and his wife and daughter. Callum Ian. It was just beautiful, and they're appreciating winter in Sydney. This is amazing because this is the equivalent of January. And secondly, for those of you who've been following on Facebook and other things, I've been in the Blue Mountains at Katoomba speaking to Chinese young adults, and there's a great shop there called The Hattery, and hence my new attire. It's great. It's a great shop because, believe it or not, I have a very big head and it's hard to get a hat to fit my head, and they certainly can. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We are here to talk about actually this, which is Annabelle's shortbread. Just gorgeous. And this, which is coffee. Now, why are we here to talk about this? Because in Colossians, this is what we read just here. Chapter 2, verse 16. Therefore, do not let anyone judge you by what you eat or drink. So if you're judging me because I'm drinking coffee, or you're judging me because I'm eating shortbread, gorgeous as it is, what is Paul saying? Why does he bring this in at this time, having spoken this marvelous truth about being buried with Christ and made alive and so on? What's this got to do with anything? Because he's not here talking about diet in the sense. So there's an aspect of eating and drinking that we need to learn to control ourselves. So in 1 Corinthians 9:24, everyone who competes in the games goes into strict training. They do it to get a crown that will not last, but we do it to get a crown that will last forever. Therefore, I do not run like a man running aimlessly. I do not fight like a man beating the air. No, I beat my body and make it my slave, so that after I preach to others, I myself will not be disqualified for the prize. Now, what's he saying? What's that got to do with anything? So when he's talking about food and drink, we're not talking about judging us for eating shortbread or drinking coffee or whatever it is. But neither is he saying you eat whatever you want. Gluttony is a sin. Drunkenness is a sin. But what is he really speaking about? Food and drink. So if you went to Leviticus, I'm not going to read it, but if you went and read Leviticus 11, 1 to 23, you could start asking questions like, should Christians eat peanut butter? Well, what's the answer to all of that? Here, Paul is talking about eating and drinking in terms of religious rules and rites. And he's saying, don't let anyone judge you by that. Because even the Levitical laws, they're a shadow of the things that are to come. Now, the whole of this passage is really saying, don't go back to the shadows. So some of you, well, I doubt it, but you could actually argue, as a Christian, I won't touch meat. I think that is wrong. Or as a Christian, we have to fast twice a week. Or as a Christian, during this particular period of time, we should abstain from this. And all in terms of religious ritual, religious rules, which are designed to make us better. That's precisely what he is not saying. It's precisely what he's arguing against. Don't go back to the shadows. So, I think in the religious sense, that's very clear, and we'll see more of that tomorrow. But there is another sense, don't let anyone judge you by what you eat or drink. I think we need to be very careful about that. Some people are vegetarians or vegans. Do you judge them for that? You shouldn't. Some people won't drink tea or coffee. Fair enough. Don't judge people by what you eat or drink. we need to discipline ourselves in that. And sometimes I will record this in when the weather's not so great, in our apartment and in my study, and sometimes I inadvertently leave a bottle of malt whiskey there, and occasionally somebody points out to me that that's not wise, it may be offensive to people. Well, I'm sorry, but nobody should judge me by what I eat or drink. Yes, it's not wise to, say, for example, encourage somebody who's an alcoholic to drink. That would be just completely absurd. But neither is it right for somebody to judge someone because they drink alcohol if they don't get drunk. Otherwise, they're going to have to judge Jesus, who turned water into wine. So I think as a general, the particular principle he has here is don't let anyone judge you by a religious festival, religious rites and rules, but I think it also applies in the more general principle of don't let anyone judge you by what you eat or drink. So we're not going to do that. And maybe I'll finish with this. We should feed on Christ and we should give thanks. Command those who are rich in this present world not to be arrogant, nor to put their hope in wealth, which is so uncertain, but to put their hope in God, who richly provides us with everything for our enjoyment. 1 Timothy 6:17. By the way, today is the day that this comes out. You can now order it. Amazon, bookshops, wherever. And please do pray that the Lord will use it to help people who are seeking for Him. God bless you, and see you tomorrow, and I'll go and finish my shortbridge. And don't judge me by what I'm eating or drinking. Bye.